Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I want to look at gold. So we'll be looking at the gold futures as well as GLD, finding some levels of support and resistance as we have now been kind of consolidating for the past few days. And we're looking to see a breakout either to the downside or back up to test those all-time highs. So with that, let's go ahead and dive on into the chart. Now up on the screen, I have the gold futures, and this is really just the past week or so worth of trading once we broke $2,000 per ounce of gold here on the futures. So you can see we had this pretty nice push up. This was mid last week, and we came back down after this push through 2,000, and we found some support right in here between about $2,030 and $2,035. And from there, once we found that support and we pushed higher with some new buyers, we came up and we had about $2,060 as being that resistance. Again, we kind of moseyed around a little bit below it for a period of time, and then we pushed higher. You can say that we had a bit of support right in here around 2,048 or 2,050. From there, we pushed again. We hit those all-time highs, and from there, we started to trend back downward. You can see we had this resistance here at about 2,073. Once we failed that, we broke through that previous support right around $2,060, failed all the way through $2,048 and came all the way back down to where we had initially seen some support after that break of 2,000, right in here around $2,030 a share. Now from there, we are basically flat through Sunday, not really moving around. That's kind of what I expected. And then come Monday morning, we saw this really nice break, but it did not hold. We pushed all the way back up here towards 2,058 to 2,060 bucks, and then we pushed all the way back down, finding some support, but just so down here at about $2,030, and there really wasn't much of a bounce. We basically just saw all of the sell orders get absorbed, and that is what happened last Friday as well. We saw this really steep move to the downside. It looked as if we were going to press lower, making significant lows in comparison to what we saw mid last week, but it bounced right as we moved into close. We saw a very big bounce all the way up back around 2,045 bucks. And today, again, we followed through, but then we sold all the way back down. And if I pull this up on a 4-hour time frame, it'll give you another view of that. And to me, this is looking significantly bearish. We saw that big push this morning. It all got sold off. And then the next candle was red as well. We did have some buyers that came in after we made our low on the day around 228 and pushed us up about $5 or $6. But to me, we're sitting right here on this 50-day moving average. So if we crack down below that and we crack down below 2,030 bucks, I'm going to say that we're going to be making our way back down here towards $2,000 here on the gold futures, because when you look at this chart, it is nothing but air between about $2,030 all the way down to 2,000 bucks. It was just a really quick pump all the way up to that point. So to me, I think those longs are really trying to keep that price held above $2,000 or 2,030, and that is what we have been seeing here. Just a very big battle, very long battle right here at about $2,030 a share. So as we move throughout this evening and into tomorrow, that is what I'm going to be looking at. A significant break to the downside. Again, be eyeballing 2,000. From there, you could be looking closer down here towards about 1985. I think would be a decent next level to look at if we were to break down through 2,000. But let's say we hold and we start pushing back to the upside here on the futures. Again, I want to be looking up here towards about $2,048 on gold. That's going to be the next significant resistance to push through. You can look right in here around $2,043. But to be honest, this is going to be the late Sunday trading and pre-market Monday, so I don't think this is going to hold as much weight as, say, $2,048 per share. So now let's go ahead and look at GLD, as this is going to be what a lot of people are trading. Again, this is going to be relatively the same chart, right? So we had this push above what would have been $2,000 per ounce on the gold futures, right? And that's going to correlate to about $186 here on GLD. We saw that big push. Here was our support right in here around $189.80. I'll zoom that in so you can see it a little bit better. We then pushed all the way up. We made our high up here around, well, if we're calling it during the actual trading hours, it was right around 194 and about 15 cents. From there, we broke back down. Again, you can say there was a little bit of support right in here around 190.80. So we'll put that in as we were moving up. And we broke through that on Friday. And then as we pushed up, we were unable to really push much above it. You can see we had that nice strong run all the way up to about 191.30, and then we pulled back down. After hours, nothing really major going on. Pre-market, really nothing major. The big thing was that we saw this huge push early this morning, and you can see I was tracking it today. We saw that big push all the way up here towards about 192.60. We sold off, consolidated a little bit, had this channel, broke down below it once again, and you can see here's that 190.80 level that we were talking about. And we tried it one more time to break through it one more time here around 1 p.m. today, and then we sold back down, and then we ended up right down near that big support zone that we were talking about on the futures, which is right around 2030, which is right in here around 189.80. We saw that push. Really not a whole lot happening, though. We weren't even able to crack back above this 190.60 level, which was the support midday today. So for me, I want to see if we can get back up into this range right around 190.60 all the way up to about 190.80. If we can continue to push higher there and break above 191, I think that would be really positive here on GLD, and we could then be setting our sights back up here, as we can see, or this will signify then that we are going to continue this upward trend. Right now we're basically in this channel, and we have this big air pocket once again from that really quick move from 186 all the way up here towards about 189.80. So again, if we push back down, support down here around 186. If we were to move even lower than that, I'd be looking around the mid 184s, if not down here towards the mid 183s. If we push back up to the upside, which is possible, there are a lot of buyers stepping in, then I would be looking up here towards about 191. We want to see consistent higher lows. We don't want to see this continue to make lower lows, and right now we really have this triple bottom. If we break down, we continue to make lower lows, I would see 186 very soon, or at least some point this week. So that is just my view on the futures as well as GLD. I'm wanting to see this bounce. Gold has been very strong lately, but I also think that it would be relatively healthy to see this thing pull back down closer to 2,000. I think if we see some of those weak hands shaken out of the market, we can see some new buyers step in at a good entry point, maybe down here in the mid 180s, that will then send this back up into all-time high. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like or leave a comment on what you think about gold and where you think it'll be headed in the future. With that, I will catch you guys in the next one.